it's not a job, it's a ministry. It's something that it comes over you, and you just learn how to do what is already in your heart. And I want to just thank you all, because you are providing these services at a time unlike we have ever known before. I mean, wow. Who would have thought that we would be a year into the greatest pandemic in the last 100 years? Who would have ever thought that we would be living in these times in which we are separated, that you are social working in a time of social distancing? Who would have ever thought that we would not have young people in schools where we're able to keep our eyes on them, and to notice those changes about them? Who would have ever thought that during the roughest time in our young people's lives, and some of us older folks, that you would not be there where they are, that you would not be able to provide the comfort, provide the resources, provide the presence that you provide to our young people. Who would have ever thought that? But yet you all have found ways in the midst of that. Although we all hate Zoom, I think we all agree when we get back to our new normal, the first thing we're going to get rid of is Zoom. I think I'm going to go ahead and make a decree, emergency declaration, that Zoom goes away. But the fact was that we use what we have to get where we need to be. I'm reminded of one of my favorite stories of a man that was born from Jerusalem to Jericho, and he fell among thieves and hit him in his head and robbed him of his raiment and left him on the side of the road for dead. And the story goes that there was a priest that walked by and saw this man in this bloody, beat up state, and he just walked by on the other side of the road. This beaten, this battered, this man who was near dead. The story goes on further to say that a Levite, a politician of sorts, walked by and saw this man in this condition, and kept on going, maybe out of fear for his own safety. But then the story says that a man from another place, Samaritan he was called, saw this man, took pity on him, bandaged up his wounds, took him to a hotel, stayed with him overnight, and then paid for the rest of his evening, and said to the innkeeper, well, if it's not enough, I will pay the rest when I return. I submit to you that Samaritan was probably a social worker. It was a person who did not think about the danger to himself or herself. He just saw this person in the condition they were in, saw what they were going through, and said, not what will happen to me if I help him, but what will happen to him if I don't help him. And I want to just thank you all for just being that person that stands in the gap of our young people. And I know some of our older folks lean on you too, for all that you do to help people make it through the day, to help people get to that bridge that gets them to being their best lives. Certainly you will not remember everybody you help, but everybody you help will remember you and remember the contributions you made. And so, although it's been very difficult and very challenging, I will just remind you during this National Social Workers Week that the person you need to social work the most is yourself. You can't take care of other people's children if you don't take care of your own. You can't take other people's families until you take care of your own. So find some way in the midst of all this mess that we're in, find some way to take care of Team You, because we need you. We need you, we need you, we need you. And if I could give all of you a cruise somewhere, I absolutely would. But I can't, so I'll just give you water down at Tybee Island. But again, thank you, Dr. Fields. Thank you, all of you, for just being the phenomenal people, the phenomenal Savannahans that you are. Thank you for what you do, for making life better, making life easier, making life manageable for those that are often the most vulnerable. And I just continue to pray for your safety and your wellness. And we'll look forward to next year when I'm invited and I'll be able to do it in person for real, and y'all can feed me breakfast. All right? Thank you all so much.